now all of a sudden we have a platform that outdoorsmen, for better or worse, can share their thoughts, their harvest, their kills, their, oh man, I'm trying to be politically correct, can share anything that can move the needle one way or the other in terms of how we are viewed as a culture and a heritage in hunting,
Mm-hmm.
for better or worse.
Yeah.
You know, putting ducks' heads in your mouth on social media. Or
Yeah.
like, you know the scope of things that fall under that. So
Yeah.
that was a monumental line in the sand right there. And I would say we are 15 years, give or take, into this time period and transition. And we've pretty well drove it into the sewer.
Yeah, what's really interesting about some of what you're talking about is it's become acceptable to no longer glorify the animal, but glorify the hunt or the experience for personal gain. And what I mean by that is, like, you bringing up the example of people putting the ducks in their mouth or laying next to the deer, or, I mean, we could think of probably a dozen different examples. And at the end of the day, what is it really for? Well, you're right. It's to gain attention on social media a lot of times, and
Yes.
for people to glorify what they're doing. And it's crazy because everybody talks about how toxic social media is, but nobody can really truly get away from it. And as hunters and outdoorsmen, our industry is no different than any of these other industries on social media, where, say, you've got the chicks who are flaunting their bodies, for clicks or for attention. I mean, you've got hunters who are flaunting, doing dumb things for clicks and attention. You know what I mean? And I really wish that we could get back to a place of glorifying the animal and glorifying God, even more importantly, because that's what it's all about at the end of the day,
Well, I agree with all of that. I look at it also from a more of a 30,000 foot view, and I say, what's the root cause of this? And for me, we're at a time where, if you're familiar with the 6 stages of the hunter, that report or that article, that philosophy has been published many places. Texas Game and Fish Department has it on their website. I just used it the other day for a presentation with state legislators. And the 6 stages of a hunter 100% outlines the lifespan or the career of maturity that a hunter goes through, from the beginning stages of, I want to shoot my gun as many times as I can. Or I want, step 1 may just be, I want to get to go. I want to go experience this. Then step 2 is, I want to shoot my gun as many times as I can, blah, blah, blah. And then step 3, it progresses to where when you finally get to the end, it's about sharing the experience with other people and introducing it. And it takes the most ethical and responsible and the highest level of accountability and ethics and responsibility to get to that point. And what I think that you see now is technology, the outdoor industry, and social media have incentivized and made it a marketing funnel for people to inject further into the 6 stages of the hunter and skip the parts of wearing a $5 Walmart hoodie going squirrel hunting with dad. And they lose the fundamental foundation to support a positive mindset or an ethical fundamental. I mean, just there, if you look at like a person's career in hunting as a whole, it's got to be well-rounded, from skills, talent, woodsmanship, ethics, personal relations with landowners and other people. Like, it's not a one-dimensional thing. It's very deep and has a lot of depth of the layers to it. And what the outdoor industry has done has capitalized monetarily and said, we can create gear, technology, apps, and equipment to allow people to have success immediately and interject into what this narrative that the outdoor industry has created is success, which is how big and how many.
Mm-hmm.
And so what we have done is we've pushed all these new hunters into our heritage that takes responsibility, a deep understanding to weigh in down the road. It's like stage 4, stage 5. How many can we kill and how well can we kill them? Well, then when they don't have a foundation underneath them, like, let's be honest, most of those guys that are doing that, they're decked out in the most trendy camo. Okay. They spend $3,000 in camo. They have to have one kind of shotgun. So they go get that kind of shotgun. And then they've got to have these 4 or 5 other gear pieces. And then once they have that, they have checked all the boxes for all the coolest trends. Well, the box that they never check is the respect for the resource, whether it be squirrels, quail, ducks, deer, elk, or indifferent. And at every turn, the success, the resource's life gets taken. And then their next incentivized action point is, how can I gain attention and credibility from this kill or from this harvest or from this hunt? And then that platform is social media.